have a seat. Good morning, everyone. My name is Bob Goulet. I'm Zan's cousin, and I've been my privilege. I've been asked to offer this ceremony where we send Zan on his final path, his final steps on that good road we call Menado Mikana, that beautiful spirit road. And I know it's a tough time for those of us that are so close to Zan, the immediate family, Teresa and our family, Jerry, your family. You know, it's hard to contemplate that he's gone on that journey, and so we're facing our grief here today. So I'm hoping the ceremony will bring you a bit of comfort, but also talk a little bit of how we understand the journey of the Spirit as Anishinaabe, the First Nations people of this territory. So I'm going to share beautiful teachings today on that 4-day journey on that western road to that beautiful place. We actually call it Gwenajawin Ge, that beautiful place where he's departed to. And it's a journey that we're going to do today. Part of this the ceremony involves that tobacco that you have in your hand. It's our most important medicine for us as Anishinaabe. That tobacco is what you're going to put your prayers, your good thoughts, your good energy, the healing you're looking to give the family and those close friends of Zan. Put your good thoughts in that tobacco. Begin working with that tobacco. If you are of Christian faith and that's your belief, put your own prayers into that tobacco and how that's offered, because that's just as important as these ways. This is what was given to us by our grandparents and our parents. So we'll begin working with that tobacco. That tobacco bowl will come around after we sing the tobacco song. But it comes through a number of parts, this ceremony. The first part is to call in the Spirit that will help us through all of this. That spirit, that belief, that faith you have to get you through the next few weeks, the next few days, the next few hours, and certainly, to deal with how we've lost Zan. So we're going to call in that spirit. I've got the singers here helping out. So begin to work with that tobacco, and then we'll get right to collecting the tobacco after this song. Tell me which. And you don't have to stand for this. You could sit just like we're sitting with Zan, sitting with our grandfather, our grandmother. Now, tell me which. shom sanan lokuma sanan manadog binejigi ki ni minan ki shem do ha shwem in shin. Jakwat English nakas migizeh and dodem. Tagani minwa nipissing First Nation in Donjit. My Anishinaabe name is Mjakwat, which refers to that place in the cloud world where this world intersects the spirit realm, that clearing sky. I'm of the Bald Eagle clan, Migizit, of Nipissing First Nation, a little community called Taganing, our garden village. I'm happy to be here today to lead this and to send Zan off in this good way. We had a beautiful ceremony last night just before we closed out where we gave Zan his what we call Anishinaabe nose win. That name he's going to carry in the spirit world. And we got a chance to speak that name. And that name is Najge Bun. Najge Bun. Najge is the active part of that name. But that word, that suffix, abun, is to acknowledge that he's already passed. So when we speak his Anishinaabe name, even when we speak his English name, we should be using that suffix. Because that helps us remember that his journey continues. That we're remembering him in that way. Zan Bun, or Najge Bun. We are going to now collect your tobacco with a pipe song that's going to be offered by my singers here, Tori and Blair, and our what we call the chorus back here. We're going to offer this pipe song, and then we have our Puagan, our grandfather that's here with us. The same grandfather that my Uncle Larry brought and closed off that fire yesterday, that beautiful sacred fire, where we told stories of Zan's life, where we heard how many people were touched by his life. And we began to even take some of those tears and shed those for Zan together around that sacred fire. So that pipe and that tobacco will be offered to that fire. So I'm going to begin with this, and my cousins are going to collect that tobacco from you. So we'll ask you to do that in an orderly way, and then we'll also do the water. So I'll turn it over to Tori and Blaine. ask my Uncle Larry to offer words for this asema, Manado asema we call in our language, our most beautiful medicine. You know, the tobacco that we know today is not how it is supposed to be used. It shouldn't be used for that purpose. It should be used in that ceremonial way. So the way we're using tobacco today is what was given to us. To speak for that tobacco, I'm going to turn it over to my Uncle Larry McLeod. You go.
Today I was given the offer to do the blessing of tobacco, which our friend Mashigad, they would get not ready to being ungathered, gave ready, well, queen. There's quite I am. We went then, even one getting in at the I give my blessings to the family that they believe in their tobacco, that their son or their cousin or their nephew reaches where he's going. Thank you very much. You're rich.
So all that tobacco that you offer, thank you, Rich. Come and just bring it here. Thank you to my cousins Garrett and Richard for helping out with tobacco, and my cousin Joe McLeod for offering, helping us out with the smudge today. This tobacco will go a long way to help us in the prayers that we asked for, the healing we're looking for, and the journey that we're going to describe that Zane is taking on, or Najee Ban is taking on. For that journey, he's going to need a few special things. And the special things are going to be in this little bundle that I'm going to smudge. I'm trying not to use too much sage. My Auntie Teresa, I don't want it to be too sensitive to the sage. So I'm just going to use a little leaf. Thanks, Garrett. Pour it into that. This little bundle that Najee Bun, that Zane Bun is going to carry, is that Zan is going to carry, is a little offering that will help him on that journey. This journey that I'm going to describe after we speak about him, after we talk about his life, is a 4-day journey. A 4-day for him. For us, it's night. For him, it's a day journey. In this little bundle that my aunties helped put together, there's 4 matches in here to help him build a fire for each of those 4 nights. There's 4 pieces of wigwas, those birch bark that will help light that fire. There are 4 sticks that came from that fire that was right in front of your house, Auntie Treese, that we use for that sacred fire is in here. There's 4 morsels of our most sacred food. The meat, the wild rice, the berries, and the corn are in there. It's popcorn for Zan. I thought that would be appropriate. So I was thinking, oh, I've got some cream corn, I got kernel corn, I can open up a can. But then I seen my wife left behind a big bag of popcorn. So I put popcorn in there for Zan. There's also tobacco. So tobacco has been put in there, a little bit of cedar as well, the medicines that will help him on his journey. But I also put something in here very special, a little seashell that we call migas in our language. That seashell will remind us of the breath that Zan carried, that Najee Bun carried. That final breath that he let out on Friday, on that early Friday morning, Saturday morning, that he let out. That breath is still alive. That breath is still part with us. So that little seashell is in here to do that. So I've smudged this, and I'm going to ask somebody from the family, maybe Jerry, to come forward. Teresa, if you can, or maybe Jerry, Fred, if you could come forward. And we're going to place this so this will travel with him. So ask the family to come up. Come on, nice and close. So maybe Jacob. Yeah. So yeah, put that close to him because he's going to be. Before we talk about the journey, before we talk about afterlife, we need to talk about his life. Talk about those good things we remember and why we came here to talk about our brother Zan. So on behalf of our families, we've got a few speakers here. So I want to turn the fan over here to my Auntie Nancy to speak a little bit for our family, to speak on behalf of Zan, but also remember those memories that you have with him. It's remembering those good times, those good days. So I'm going to turn this over to my Auntie Nancy. You're welcome to use the podium, Nancy. You don't need
Allez, bonjour, Nancy Dejnagaz, I'm Teresa's younger sister and a dear friend to Jerry and his family. Good morning, everybody, and what a beautiful day and a beautiful ceremony. I want to talk a little bit about Najge Bun, Xander Bun as we know him, and what we know of him and what he's taught us. Zan, our nephew, was a dear friend to all of us. Didn't a day go by where you didn't meet him in the grocery store and he would take the time to pause and run across that store and give you that hug and say, "Good morning, Auntie." When I speak of all his friends here today, the kindness, the love that he showed, the sharing of what little he had, and the kindness that he showed to everyone, all different walks of life. Zan only saw one thing, and that was people and their good heart. Zan's humor, his kindness, his love for the Benoji, the little ones that were around him, and especially those who were disadvantaged, always stopped and sat and took the time to sit and listen. That's Zan Bun that we knew. Zan leaves us with many teachings today. One of kindness, one of respect, one of working of what he had. He made the best of life. And I know if Zan Bun was here today, he'd say, "Thank you for being my friend. And how could I help you?" Those were two words that came out of Zan Bun's mouth all the time. When Zan was little, he grew up with my kids, all his cousins, and we took the time to try and spend time and listen. Zan's love of boxing, body art, tattooing, hunting with his friends. Zan loved to help where he could. Zan gave what he could. These are all things that Zan Bun taught us and has left behind for us today. 3 things that I will remember about Zan Bun, Najge Bun. How can I help you? How can I show you my love and respect and dignity for all? who are around him. I want to say miigwech for all the aunties and uncles, his cousins, the Greenwood family, and especially you, all his friends. Zan was deeply loved, and remember the lessons he's leaving with us today. Miigwech.
On behalf of his deepest friends, his cousins, and the ones that loved him, people that worked with him, he's got two speakers that are going to be here, and they're struggling too. Just a reminder that today is not just about celebrating his life and putting him on a good road, but to remember we need to take care of ourselves, and that comes with a heavy heart for many of us. So I want to call upon Tori Fisher and his cousin Blair Wokech to speak about their friend Naj Geva.
Bonjour. Avec dus na cause ujik to them with the tigoning and Dion. Just want to send my thoughts and prayers to everyone, and as our friend, but as a brother and a son and our family and community. It's a great loss. I've had a lot of memories, and we were asked to speak, Blair and I, and one thing I can say is I don't know if I'm going to steal one of Blair's stories, because we were always together. We lived together, we fought together like brothers, we argued, we laughed, we even partied real hard together. And one of the stories that I shared earlier this week is one of the most funniest memories. We had one of the things that has helped me is just the kind of guy he was. He was always apart. There was never, if we were playing hockey, he never played hockey. But we had won a tournament, a family tournament together, and we were celebrating in the dressing room after. And when it came time to showers, he showered with us. We laughed, we had a good time there. And he used to, Theo was sharing, I shared with our team that, and Theo used to say that when he was with Zan, he would tell all the ladies that he played with us. I won the championship, he said.
Call himself the Rocket.
Yeah. But the last time I met with Zan was for breakfast, just before I was going back to work this year. And there was some things that it was nice to catch up with him, and he was asking about the kids and everybody else's kids, how they're doing and how everyone was doing. And there was one thing that he had said to me that he said, I'm so glad we're doing this, because he said, I said, let me know when you're doing ceremony, it'd be nice to, I want to learn more. And that's something that stuck with me. And so he was asking about his name, and it's so nice to hear that Najget, he received that, because that's what he was asking for already. It was beautiful to hear that. I'm going to really miss him, and he did play hockey on the outdoor rink, and he had a big accident. We taught him how to skate, Blair and I, And if you learned how to play on the outdoor rink, nobody had any mercy for you. If you could skate or whether you had skates. Well, Blair body checked him a couple times. But one thing we forgot to do was tell him how to stop. So he got pretty good at skating really fast, and he's crashed right headfirst into the boards. And nobody helped him. Everybody just laughed at him. So he was always a joy to be around. So it's as much as I'll say miigwech and my condolences to the family.
Been thinking about Zan a lot in the last few days, and the things he showed me. He'd always talk about North Bay, and we'd always be like, come to the village there, come back down here. He'd always tell me about what's going on here in North Bay, and all these fighting camps and all that stuff. And, you know, sometimes it was almost unbelievable what was going on. And in the last year or so, we got to reconnect. We got to hang out and really got to see how far he reached out. It was every time we hung out, someone would always stop by. To remind me how good of a man he was. Because we say no school, all kinds of people, and we're so used to like a certain, just hang around Garden Village, you get just a certain amount of people, and you open my eyes to it. There's a lot of really cool people. Met cousins that we didn't know each other about. A lot of faces that I see here that I got to meet, and some of the most cool people. So I follow that track. You know, he's got a lot of friends that are quite awesome, as he would say, very righteous. You know, and we got the, I guess, got to say bon appetit to my dance partner, right? I remember at the dance, he would always just look at me, oh, something's happening. One time he came just running at me, it was like it was practice. He jumped at me, and I caught him, and I grabbed him. And he knew to do it, he's in good shape, so he's able to, and then I grabbed him, and went like this. And he jumped, and he stands, and he lands like that, and it wasn't a planned thing, it was just, ran at me, and we knew. So, yeah, Tori shared some of the stories I was thinking about, but I guess I want to get a little personal with Zanny here. Gonna miss our movie nights here. I know he did that with a lot of us. I'm gonna miss my, Dozy. He always have nicknames, Because every time I try to watch a movie and the credits, I'll fall asleep. So he nicknamed me Dozy. We got Ninja Turtles here. My brother was Titanic. So a lot of movie references, and you know what? And I was reading comments online, you could see a lot of those. He was like that with all of us. And getting to hang out with him in the last little while, one thing I really noticed he was trying to do, and it's very ironic the way he was trying to save a lot of our cousins, a lot of our friends. He was going around and doing that work. He did that with me. He's quite the healer. His family was everything to him, and he was talked about Chabamba all the time, you know. An old man. You know, we had an old scrapping stories with Freddie. You know, he really loved your daughter. You know, always, every time we're out there, he'd be showing her off all over the place, you know. And then he had his own best friend, you know, we all know it's his squirrel. Sai. And always, you know, we always made sure Sai was looked after. And that's who he was for us. And you know, there's not a lot of people I feel very, you know, it's like I gotta be a protector. But you know, he was showing me some moves there, eh? And he was moving me around. He threw his knee here and his elbow here. It was like, and he was manipulating me like I was a little person. And I knew I was like, okay. I knew he wasn't just talking about it, because I take my toughness with pride, and I have to stand down to him, because he was tougher than me. So it's really hard to do the fires and knowing that it was Zanny's, eh? One of our crew members. Me squeeze, Zanny. Go on in.
Took a lot of courage for Blair. You know, Blair and his sister Melanie, and you know, and Glenna, all of our family was very, very close with Zan, and you know, to speak, you know, it takes a lot of courage, and I know some of you are still struggling with that. To help you with that, we are going to move to the next part of our water ceremony. It involves the little Dixie cups. No, it's not for mouthwash. It's for this beautiful water, this beautiful medicine that you're going to receive. So I'm going to thank you very much, Candace, for helping out. But I'm going to call upon Emily and my cousin Cindy to speak for that water and sing for that water. And then you're all going to get a little taste. And that water is going to be a part of these next teachings. But you'll hear Cindy speak to that water as well. Now, good.
Davno quel Vishne cause na met Budem, we come home, we know this thing don't drop, which not liquid now. Bob had asked for us to help with the water. And part of the responsibility in taking care of the water is speaking for the water and how important it is for our everyday life. I don't think there's a person here that would say water isn't important. So you see on TV, people talking about the importance of the water. The water has been important from before the time you were born, right till the time that you passed. The water is our life, blood, and it carries everything. It's a mover of medicines, it's a mover of our food, it helps us to live, but it also carries our prayers. And today we see people shedding tears, and it's okay to cry. That's part of that healing. It's part of the medicine. That's the way I look at it, is the tears are a healing piece, and it's helping you to heal. So I'm gonna pass this back to Bob, and I'm gonna sing a song I learned in Treaty 3. So you have to say where you learned your teachings from. So this comes from Treaty 3 territory, but we know these travels, so I'm going to do my very best for Najage Bun, our cousin Zen and Wretch. And keep in mind that I'm just learning the song, so I'll do my best.
So you're all gonna get a taste of that water, so Cindy and Emily will bring that around. And as you're getting that water, I'm gonna carry on, Cindy, if that's okay. Cindy and I, we didn't orchestrate who was gonna sing for the water today. So Cindy came to offer it, and then at first I thought, oh, I got a song. Oh, Cindy, no, it'd be better if you sing a song. We both picked the same song, so I had the lyrics. As that water is coming around, I do want to offer this part of the ceremony, which is the teachings that go with this. For those of you who remember church, it's the homily time in Anishinaabe way. So this is the time where we think of Zan in the life that he's brought. Zan Bun and the beautiful stories from his childhood right up to his friendships and his stories now. But now he is on a different journey, a different path. So I'm going to talk about this path and talk about how it relates to us as well. The 4-day path, begins when he gives out that last breath. When he gives that last breath. That breath that will be given out to the Creator, given out to the earth around us, to the trees, back to life itself. He's giving that back to us. We're reminded that that life comes from that little shell that I put into his bundle. It said that little meagus shell is how we as human beings received life from the Creator. In our creation story, it was said that the Creator, Gishem Nido, gave us that beautiful breath of life. And he couldn't give us his full breath, because his, Gishem Nido has such powerful, strong, life-giving breath, that he only had to give a little bit of that breath. And all he had to do was blow through that small little shell. That shell we carry as Medela in Anishinaabe that's carried in my bundle. That shell that I gave him to remind us of the breath that he carried as well is in that shell. He gives out his last breath. And when that happens, he begins that journey. It's described, as I mentioned, as a 4-day journey for him. But the spirit world is said to be the opposite to us. When it's day for him, it's when we're sleeping. That first night is what we talk about. He begins that journey, he begins that walk. And it's said that when that spirit is released from his physical vessel, it takes a bit of a custom to become accustomed to that journey, to become accustomed to spirit. He's not sure, what's going on. So it's a difficult journey in that way. It's a very careful journey. Just like this path you see down here. He's going to take a very careful steps. And some of those steps are slow, to become accustomed to that. But as he begins that journey, he starts to think about his life. He starts to think about us. He's more concerned with us than he is with his journey. He's concerned about his mom. He's concerned about his dad. Concerned about his brothers and his little niece, and his family. He's, taking his time moving along, around that path. And it's a long, long path, that long day. And I'll remind you how long that first day was. Aren't we glad that first day has been passed? How tired we are. How sore we are from crying and from taking that all in. That path is very slow and arduous for Najgeewan. So he comes to this part. It's starting to get dark. It's starting. The dusk is coming. That sun is starting to set in that western doorway. But then he realizes he's so tired. He's just so tired he can't carry on. And he comes to a corner of that road. And then he sees that road turns into a fork in the road. All of a sudden he needs to make a choice. Is he going to go this way? Is he going to go that way? He encounters that fork in the road. But one thing, you know, he's uncertain. Again, he's exhausted, just like we are exhausted, just like it was so tough on us. But he hears a voice, a very special voice. It's a voice that sometimes we all hear, that we need to take care of ourselves. We need to take the time to take care of us, to go through these things. And he hears this voice, and he realizes he needs to listen to that voice. Maybe it's the voice of his mom, you know, wanting him to remind him of these things, or his dad, his family. But he realizes he needs to rest, you know, before he makes that choice in the morning. So, that bundle that we gave him, he's asked to take out one of those matches, one of those pieces of birch bark, a little bit of that wood, light a fire, nice warm fire to take care of him. That starts to bring him that comfort. That's that same fire my cousins and my family lit for him a few days ago. That fire was with us, where we sat around and talked about him and cried and shared and laughed around that fire. So I'm thankful to all the firekeepers who did all that beautiful work. He sits down by that fire. There's a little piece of cloth in there that represents a blanket. He takes that blanket and wraps himself in that. He takes that first morsel of food and eats that, and that nourishes him, giving him strength already. Putting that first piece of tobacco, and what he asked in that tobacco is to help him make the choice that he needs to make. At Manadoa Samoa, he puts that in the fire, lays his head down, and then he sleeps. And that's the day we wake up on that first day. And that's the hard time we're having that first day. When he wakes up, takes the sleep out of his eyes, takes a drink of that water you all got a chance to take a drink out of. And that nourishes him. He's feeling good. He stands up, packs up his bundle again that he carries, and he realizes, he turns around and looks at that road. That fork in the road is no longer a choice. It's a cleared path that we call Menado Mikana. That spirit road is a clear path. So he now has what he needs to go. And it's that second day he wakes up. He starts traveling down that second road. He starts to feel better. In fact, he's light on his feet. Apparently he's light on his feet in some of our stories. But he's now realizes he has spirit. He's now spirit. He's not confined by his physical body, his physical abilities. He's able to move around as spirit. So that second day he's traveling. On that second day, because he's spirit, he will also travel to visit us. He'll stop and visit his home. He'll stop and visit his pet squirrel. He'll stop and visit at his mom's house, at his dad's house. He'll stop and visit all of you. Those of you that are in tune to your dreams, that maybe you dreamed of him over the last few days. Zan Bun Najge Bun visited you, and he spent that time visiting. And he did that and realized that everything that he's carrying, he needs to make sure he stays strong for you on that second day. On that second night, again, it starts to get dark, it starts to get cold, it starts to get a little bit tougher on that road. It's still a tough road. On that road, he sees there's something in front of him. And it's a pack of dogs. I don't know if they're res dogs, they could be. There's a pack of dogs, and they're growling. They're showing their teeth, you know. He experiences, for the first time on that path, fear. That fear of what's going to happen next. He realizes he's now no longer part of this world, part of his body. He's now not sure what that is. So, again, he hears a voice. It's a bit louder now. That very special voice that he hears in the distance. It's a little bit louder, but he listens to that voice. And that voice is to take that second match, that second bit of wigwas, the birch bark, and put that into that fire, put the tobacco in there, and ask for that strength to overcome that fear, those dogs that are there. For us, when he beds down that night, for us, what that means is sometimes we are angry of what happened. We maybe even felt anger to Zanbun, you know, for what has taken place. Perhaps, like Tori, maybe we were in a fight with him, and we were angry, and we exchanged words, and we never got a chance to forgive each other. We need to set those things aside, because That's what's good. That's what he asks for with that tobacco. That's what I hope you ask for in your healing with that tobacco. To set aside all of those, anger, that fear, those judgments, all of those things, and make peace with that. That will allow him to continue. When he wakes up in the morning, he gets up, has a drink of that water, the same water that's going around. And he realizes, he turns around, those dogs are not there anymore. That fear is gone. He's able to carry on. That third day walk for him, he begins to walk and he realizes he still needs strength. He's put out so much energy, so much strength. He decides, because, he's no longer part of this vessel, he comes back to this vessel. This is why we put this veil here. A lot of people were asking for what veil. Sorry, Sam. This veil here. It represents just a little symbolic barrier to give him that space if he comes back and he wants to spend time around his own vessel. That eagle feather that you put in there, Therese, he's come back to see all that. He's come back to see all of your offerings you put in there. So it gives him that chance to do that. Zan is very young still. So, but us as elders that get older, people that get older, sometimes we lose our limbs, we lose our fingernails and our hair over the years. He'll go and collect all the things that he's lost. That first haircut when he was little, he'll go and get a little bit of that hair, and he'll become whole again. He will become strong on that third day in the spirit world. He is whole again, free of all those things that may have encumbered his body. All of those things that made him, weaker, not able to carry on that path. But he was strong. But as that third day finishes up, he starts to have to walk uphill. And we all know how that is, he starts to see this rocky path, and it's very rocky, very high. But what he also hears as the day keeps coming to the end, he hears a beautiful sound. It's stronger than ever. It's not just one voice. There's a whole chorus. There's a whole group that's calling him. He doesn't know where it's coming from, but he can hear it clearly, and it motivates him. But he realizes he encounters that rocky path. And then he gets as far as he can on the hill, but realizes he's too tired. It's too late at night now. Takes that next match, the next piece of wigwas, the birch bark, puts that tobacco in the fire, has that third morsel of food, and he beds down at night looking for strength. And that represents the strength we need to find ourselves to allow him to do that work, to continue on as his family, as his loved ones. To get that strength that comes from him. When he wakes up on that fourth day, he realizes he's at the top of that hill. That rock, most of the rockiness is behind him. And he sees something really special. That path now goes downhill. He is now going to be strong enough to finish this journey. Goes downhill, and he could see where those voices are coming from. The voices are coming from his loved ones that are calling him over. All of those ones that passed on before him are waiting for him, and they're calling him. They're calling him. Noshke, Ban, come this way. Zan, come this way. We want you to be here. We're going to take care of you. So that gives him a lot of strength. You can imagine what that is. For those of you who are Christian, of Christian belief, you can't believe who else is there with him. He might be your Lord, your Savior, however you see God, no matter where you go to church, where you go to mosque, synagogue, or temple. Yes, they're there, seated, waiting for him. Just like said in your good books. Just exciting to bring him in. That gives him so much energy. He packs the rest of his bundle, and he starts to move in a very fast way down that road. It's still hard, but he's going downhill now. On that last night, and this is really special. On that last night, he encounters the biggest encumbrance, the biggest challenge he's going to face on this journey. He comes to the shore of a very long, fast-flowing river, a very wide river. That water is going by in such a fast way. It's going by. He can't swim in it. He can't wade through it. There's no boats there. he sees and he realizes, oh, how am I gonna get there? Because right across on the other side is his family, preparing for his journey, preparing a big feast, a big party. He's going to get there. But he realizes he needs that support. Again, he needs to listen to the Spirit. He needs to put that tobacco down, ask for that strength to be able to do that. So he puts down makes that fire, he puts down that tobacco, he eats the final morsel of food. He has no more food left in his bundle. When he gets to that point on that fourth night, he sleeps. Wakes up in the morning, and then the next part of the ceremony is what we're going to do. He gets to that river, and all he needs in order to take that step, all he needs to do is have faith. To step into the water. To step onto that water. And in that teaching, it tells us that wood, a pig, will rise up from that water. We call that McLeod, that tree that we do in our ceremony. That big tree will be there, and he'll be able to walk across. The Spirit will provide him what he needs to come across. And it's now the biggest party he can have. It's now the biggest party that he's ever seen in his life. All of the Spirit ones are there waiting for him. That's why we put this drape here. Not only gives him space to show that kindness to him, but we're not to put our tears with him. Our tears represent that water that Cindy talked about. We don't want to shed our tears in such a way that it urges him to look back. He's going to look back one more time in the last part of our ceremony. I'm going to offer Najge Bun his final instructions. I'm going to urge him in the Shabogesic to take that step. I'm just going to whisper to him with my shaker. It'll be the time when that party that's happening will get quiet. It'll be the time he's going to quiet himself to be able to hear what needs to be said. I'm going to say his name one last time, but without the bun, to allow him to turn around and look at us one last time. And then when that's done, he will have what he needs to be able to move forward. So I'm going to offer those words to him, and it's something that we do that really acknowledges and gives our permission. Not mine, but I do it in a symbolic way. But for all of you to give him permission to continue that journey, that we're going to be okay. It takes, and the reason why everything gets quiet during that last part, is it takes us at times to quiet ourselves. Even just a few minutes. To quiet ourselves, put our phone away, just be in touch with the things that are around us, our own feelings. Take that time to do that, to hear the Spirit, to hear those things. Take some time to offer prayer. Take some time to offer your tobacco when you can. So I'm going to offer those words, and then we're going to send up a Western Doorway song to send him on his way. is about that sound, about those words that he hears. That you can hear that it's urging him. Mange, mange. We need to, he's being urged, but he's also, we're telling him it's okay to go to that western place, that western doorway. And it's a really special word because one of the words I sing in the lodge, one of the songs, my favorite songs, is about that sound. In the way, way on, we hear that sound in the distance. You know, and we should, find ourselves to find that place where we can, be in touch with our one that has passed into that. So with that, we are going to close off with a traveling song. And then we're going to allow anyone else who wants to come and see Kazan Bun, Najee Bun, to offer their last words to him. And then the family will be here too, just the immediate family, to close off the casket. So we're going to ask Tori and Blair to lead us in a traveling song, because I'm not really good at that song. So hopefully they'll help me out with that. Miigwech. Miigwech Tori, Miigwech Blair. Thank you very much to all the helpers that helped with today, the water, the tobacco, smudging. I really appreciate that. So we're gonna make some space here. We're gonna actually provide some tobacco for you if you want to offer again, but everyone's tobacco is already accounted for. It's all gonna be put in the fire for you, all your offerings from the last day. That's in the other room. We'll make sure that's all taken care of. So it's just your opportunity to pay your last visit, and then we'll make space for the family to finish off the day. So that's the end of the ceremony. Miigwech, thank you for being here. Oh, reminder that Jerry Fred has made lunch at the hall. So, and the hall is at Deshaney. So the Deshaney Community Center is where the luncheon is going to be. All right, see you there. Okay.
Sorry about that. It's okay.
Sophie wants you to sing with me. I want to sing with you. She wants to sing. Sophie wants to sing with me. You to come. Are you want to go? You going? Oh, okay. We're washing them. Okay. I'll just be right back. Well, is it okay?
When are they closing? When everyone's done, and you guys sit around for that. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
No, you're in. I do. No, I'm. No, you're. I was fine over here. No, I'm good. I'm good. As long as you're up. I'm good. As long as you're good.
I don't know. She must be. She left already. Yeah.
I would consider myself
Hope we don't see you here again.
I'll
Well, I think I'm gonna go get an iron.
Yep. Okay.
Well,